Hey YouTube, it's another absolutely gorgeous day here today. Look, it's not a cloud in the sky. It's almost about 60 degrees. And I'm going to take a short ride, but I keep thinking it's just a disease, you know. I get a bike and like 6 months later I'm ready to get a new bike. It's almost disturbing at this point, you know. So I look at this Honda CB500X, but I think it's too small. And then I just found a Triumph Explorer, which is a 1200cc triple, and it's got cruise control, it's got all the stuff that I want. 7,500 bucks used. So I think it's a 2012 with 20,000 miles on it. So it's just coming up to its 10,000 mile service. I could probably trade this CTX in and get that Tiger and maybe even a check for 1,000 bucks. Certainly do an even swap. But I don't know, man. There's something seriously wrong with me. That's all I can tell you. Snuck out, snuck through the gate. Alrighty, kitties. So yeah, so that's the question today. Should I buy this 2012 Tiger Explorer 1200cc triple? It's got 19,900 miles on it. I'd tell you where to find it online, but you'll go buy it. So, although if you know the websites I frequent, you could probably figure it out. Major service on the Triumph, I understand, is every 10,000 miles. So the fact that this guy has turned it in with 19,900 tells me that he took it right up to his second 10,000 mile service, and he doesn't want to pay for that if he's going to go ahead and get another bike anyway, which I totally get. I understand. I do the same thing. Also, it looked like the front tire's worn. So now you got, you know, maybe a $500 10,000 mile service, and that I just pulled that $500 out of the air. I have no idea. Plus, you know, 300 bucks for a front tire, or if you're lucky, you probably spend a lot more on it than that, because you probably get 2 tires and just get it all done. And then, you know, so now you're looking at, I don't know, 800, 900 bucks on top of the $7,500 asking price. But then, you know, you've got a fully serviced 20,000 mile Triumph Tiger, or excuse me, Explorer, and it's got the fog lamps, it's got engine guards, it's got some cheap boxes on it. So then I don't know, man, is that, and then instead of being on this beautiful thing, I'd be on a different beautiful thing. I'd be sitting higher. I probably wouldn't have as much wind protection, but I don't know. I bet the Tiger's pretty good, actually. But what I'd have is, now I'd have 5 or 6 inches of high quality plush suspension travel. I think I'd have a 19-inch front wheel, and I'd have the ability to go down those dirt roads, which are absolutely terrifying on this thing. You know, not only because it's squirrely and hard to control this, but this thing is 720 pounds wet. If this falls down in the dirt, and then the poor footing on the dirt, I may not be able to lift this thing back up. I could literally be stuck out there. Now, I'm pretty strong for an old man that I am. I work out every day. I'm addicted to that, but still, you know, this is just not your off-road bike. So, I don't know, kids. It's, and then, you know, you get the new bike, and then we gotta do the title, and you gotta pay the tax, and register, and go to the, you know, the whole thing. So, and then on top of that, as I mentioned, my job's been eliminated. I don't know if I'm going to retire or if I'm going to find a new job. My wife's company is still up in the air. So at the very least, on you know, the question of timing, it's not a good time. You know, the nice thing about this bike and all of my bikes lately is it's paid for. I trade in the other one. I either get a check for a couple thousand, or I write a check for a couple thousand, and boom, done. So I don't know. This is a red rocket. I do love this thing. I've noticed the other day I tried to open it up on a back road, and it's pretty gutless at the top end. So you get that, you know, that smooth linear power. I think I've talked about this before. I think the power band curve, both for horsepower and torque, is pretty much a tabletop. It's pretty much 80 horsepower, 80 foot-pounds of torque from 3,000 RPM up to redline, which is only, well, I don't know when the torque and the horsepower drop off, but, you know, somewhere around 6,000. This thing redlines at 7. Actually, redlines just over north of 6,500. So, excuse me. So, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what to do. That Honda CB500X, that thing is getting 60 miles per gallon. This thing I'm averaging 39, you know, doing short trips and riding it pretty aggressively. So, you know, a little bit cheaper in that respect. But I don't want some buzzy little thing being blown around on the highway. That's another thing too. At 720 pounds, I go by a semi-truck on this thing, and I'm not getting blown around and, you know, tossed about like a leaf in a storm. And this thing is pretty planted. It's got enough weight, and the aerodynamics are such that this thing isn't going anywhere, which is good, you know. And you look at the Triumph Explorer, you got the all-important cruise control. This cramp buster here, it's a nice little device, but it ain't cruise control. Oh, somebody just threw that garbage out of their car. Wow, that is the worst. Who does that? Maybe it blew out of the back of their pickup truck, but still, who does that? Anyway, that's enough rambling for now, I think. To be continued. The saga continues. Will the motorcycle addict buy a new motorcycle? Or will he stay with what, on some levels, is still the most beautiful bike he's ever seen? Stay tuned. Stay tuned, motorcycle friends.